Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Vivian here. Interested in how I achieve this look? Let's get into it. So guys, the first thing I like to do is to clean my client or model's face, and I'm using the Garnier micellar cleansing water and a cotton pad from Miss Metics. Guys, it is very important to start with a clean face, so please don't skip this step. Then I go ahead with a hydrating spray, the badescu hydrating spray. For every skin prep product I apply, I make sure to use my fan. Now I'm using the Omaricode moisturizer to moisturize the face. Guys, I really love this moisturizer so much. It does the work. And please make sure to moisturize underneath the eyes. The under eyes need to be properly moisturized. Then I'll proceed with a hydrating primer from Omaricode. Guys, please take notes. Any form of primer that you're using, whether hydrating primer or mattifying primer, please make sure to avoid under the eye. The only product that needs to be underneath the eye is your moisturizer and your eye cream. For foundation, I initially matched the foundation with her face and later realized that her body is lighter than her face. I'm now using a lighter foundation just to match the rest of her body. Guys, be light-handed when blending your foundation so it doesn't leave patches. I'll proceed with blush, and I'm using this red shade from the Imagic lip palette. This is a lip palette, but it serves many purposes, and one of it is that I like to use it as a cream blush and it does the work. I like to apply blush with a brush before going to blend with a beauty sponge. I also like to apply a little bit of the blush on the tip of the nose. I'll go ahead to apply concealer, and I'm using the one from Nuban Beauty. This concealer dries really fast, so what I like to do is I apply with a brush and I blend as I go. If you are fast with blending, you can apply your concealer first before blending. Guys, please take your time to blend your concealer, because if you don't, it's gonna leave patches and make your work look really messy. You don't want that. And always remember that less is more when it comes to makeup application. For setting, I'm using the Merak cosmetic setting powder to set the areas where I highlighted. Always make sure to blend out creases underneath the eye before going in to set with your powder. I always tell my client to look up whenever I want to set the under eye. This is very important so that the powder gets to all the areas it's supposed to get to and it sets properly. Guys, always use less product when setting the under eyes. It's advisable to build coverage than applying too much powder at the same time. If you apply too much powder at the same time, it will make your work look cakey and you don't want that. Okay, I'll go ahead to set the rest of her face using the V Beauty powder palette. I'm going to be mixing two shades to get her perfect shade. I'm also using a dark shade from the same V Beauty powder palette for her contour. This helps to give the face a kind of definition and structure. For blush, I'm using the Zulu by Juvias palette, and I'm mixing the red and orange shade in the palette for her blush. Please note, always apply your blush above the contour. Then I'm using the shade I used for her contouring for her nose. I'm just using the powder to define her nose and give it the illusion of a pointed nose. I also like to use a small fluffy eyeshadow brush to blend out any form of demarcation between the blush and the setting powder before setting her face. I'm using the Morphe continuous setting mist to set her face. You can use any setting mist of your choice. Now I'll proceed to bake, but please make sure the setting spray is properly dried before you proceed to bake her face. I'm using the same merak setting powder I used to set her face to bake, and I'm applying the powder at the places where I highlighted, that is under her eyes, her nose, her forehead, her cupid bow and her chin. For eyeshadow, I'm applying the benign clown white eyeshadow primer on her eyelid. This serves as her eyeshadow base. Then I'll use the powder shade I used to contour her nose as a transition shade. I'm applying the powder at her outer V, connecting it to her crease in a circular motion. Then I'll proceed to use a darker shade from my eyeshadow palette to add some depth to the outer V. Then I'm using a shimmer shade from the same palette on her eyelid. I'm also going to use the darker shade I used on her outer V to smudge her lower eyes. I'm dusting out the fallouts from the eyeshadow and using a black pencil liner to line her waterline. Here I'm just cleaning the eyeshadow. I'm using a concealer to clean the eyeshadow. Always make sure to blend the concealer. Now I'm using the NYX glitter glue on the eyelid and applying the glitter on her lid with my fingers. For some reason, guys, my phone stopped recording and I lost some clips. But here is the finished look. I really love this look so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Okay, bye.